My sister backstabbed our family over a $3 million inheritance, but karma hit her harder. Growing up, Melissa was always the golden child, straight A student, homecoming queen, dad's obvious favorite. I was the family disappointment, average grades, no trophies, just a reliable kid who showed up when needed. When our grandmother passed away last year, the family was shocked to learn she'd left behind $3 million. Nobody knew Grandma Rose had that kind of money. She lived modestly in the same two-bedroom house for 50 years, clipped coupons religiously, and wore the same cardigan until it frayed. The inheritance was to be split evenly between Melissa and me. I was stunned. Grandma and I had been close. I'd drive her to doctor's appointments, help with groceries, listen to her stories about Grandpa, but I never expected this. 3 days after the funeral, I got a call from our family lawyer. There was a problem with the will. Melissa had submitted documentation showing Grandma had changed her mind. According to a newly discovered amendment, signed and notarized 2 weeks before her death, everything was to go to Melissa alone. The amendment claimed I had stolen jewelry from Grandma's house. I was devastated, not just because of the money, but because everyone believed I would steal from the woman I loved most. Mom wouldn't look me in the eye. Dad said he always knew I'd end up disappointing them. Meanwhile, Melissa moved into a luxury penthouse downtown. She quit her accounting job and started an Instagram account documenting her journey to financial freedom, with photos of champagne brunches and designer shopping sprees. She captioned one poolside photo, "Abundance comes to those who deserve it." I knew Grandma Rose couldn't have signed that amendment. She'd been hospitalized those final weeks, barely conscious and unable to hold a pen. But Melissa's husband worked at the hospital, and her best friend was a notary. The paperwork was flawless. I spent 8 months trying to prove the fraud, draining my savings on lawyers who eventually told me to give up. Then came Thanksgiving. Melissa hosted in her new penthouse, insisting the whole family attend. She served dinner on Grandma's antique china, the same set she'd claimed I had stolen. I recognized the distinctive chip on one plate, the faded gold rim Grandma had polished every Christmas. When Melissa stepped away, I took photos. That night, I drove to Grandma's old house, now sitting empty, while Melissa decided whether to sell it. Using my old key, I searched the attic where Grandma kept her important papers. Behind a loose baseboard, our childhood hiding spot, I found Grandma's journal. The final entries detailed her suspicions that Melissa was stealing her medication, how she'd caught her searching through financial documents, and most importantly, her fear that Melissa was trying to force her to sign papers she couldn't read without her glasses. I took everything to a different lawyer. This time, things moved quickly. The hospital had records showing Grandma was on heavy sedation the day she supposedly signed the amendment. The notary, facing potential felony charges, confessed to backdating documents. Melissa's husband admitted to helping forge signatures. Last week, the court reversed everything. The inheritance was restored to me, and Melissa faces criminal charges for fraud and elder abuse. She's been ordered to repay everything she spent, plus legal fees. Her husband filed for divorce. Her Instagram is gone. Yesterday, I visited Grandma's grave with fresh flowers. I've decided to keep her house instead of selling it. The family heirlooms are back where they belong. I've established a scholarship in Grandma's name at the local nursing school, and I kept just one thing from Melissa's penthouse, a framed motivational quote she'd hung above her bed: "What goes around, comes around." I mailed it to her new address, a studio apartment across town, with a note that simply said, "Grandma always told us to be careful what we wish for."